WA6ED for the SOARA 10-meter net. This net is open to all licensed amateurs. Let's see if anybody wants to join the net. We're almost at 9 o'clock. If you'd like to join the net, please call now.
W6ED.
Well, good morning, Dale. You found me. I've been having a hard time finding a clear frequency. When I found a clear one, then you wait 5 minutes, it's not clear. But I think they're all far away, so hopefully it'll be okay. Let's see if anybody else wants to join the net. Please call now. Well, it's probably you and me for right now. I did have a question, and that is, why are ever-ready batteries so expensive? I just found 2 flashlights, and they're not leaking. And these flashlights have been sitting in a drawer probably for years. And ever-ready are they're about 5 to 10 times more expensive than other ones. Anyway, maybe they just don't leak. Over to you, Dale. W6EDT, WA6ED.
Sounds good, Ed. I was off frequency for a minute, picking up Claude. He was up on 415. Hopefully he'll come down here. I just caught the part about the batteries not leaking, and I wish I could find, Everready sounds like a good brand. Duracell I've just sworn off. I'm tired of they leak in the package before you even use them. So it's not on my list. I've been mostly doing the end-loop style nickel metal hydride cells, but some devices don't really like 1.2 volts. So I'll go ahead and pass it back to you and let you pick up Claude and see what's going on. W6ED.
Okay, sounds good, Dale. WA6ED for the SOARA 10-meter net. If you'd like to join the net, please call now.
Here I am, W6DAG. Thanks for the rescue there, Dale. Go ahead, Dad.
Probably Tariffs K6RBS. Good morning.
Okay, guys, I can't write fast enough. Okay, so here's our rotation so far. We have Dale, W6EDT, then Claude, W6CAG, Richard, K6RBS, and then we have Greg, WE4BY. Does anybody else want to join the net? Please call now. Okay, my question was why do ever-ready batteries last so long and why they cost so much. At work, we've been switching over to Panasonic industrial batteries because they don't leak. And, yeah, I agree with you, Dale. I'm never going to buy Duracell again. They're just junk. But let's go ahead and then let's keep it open topic. But I just got it. I opened up 2 flashlights that were about in a drawer for a year or 2, maybe longer, and they weren't leaking. And I says, what's wrong with these flashlights? I was going to throw them away, and they're still good. So, and they had ever-readies in it. Over to Dale. Dale, you can hand it to Claude. Claude, hand it to Rich. Rich, hand it over to Greg. W6EDT, WA6ED. Take it.
There was a station ending in WRM, Ed, that you might want to pick up.
Okay, did anybody want to join the net? Please call now.
Morning, all. Wayne, G7WRM.
And could I get the name again, please? It was KV7WRM.
Roger. It is Wayne, like in John Wayne. No John, just Wayne.
Okay, I got you, Wayne. My ears were scrambled for a second, and I thought you said Dwayne. And I said, I don't know if that's right or not. Okay, we were talking about batteries. So, Greg, you hand it over to Wayne after Rich hands it to you. Okay, over to Dale. W6EDT. Thank you, Dale. WA6ED.
Sure. Yeah, I've got some kind of really weird noise. Always picking it up on the dipole, not on the vertical. So I'm talking on the vertical right now, and hopefully it's sounding okay. Batteries have changed in quality quite a bit. It used to be that Duracell was a pretty decent battery, and although they did leak occasionally, and in fact they paid for repairs on an HP 41 calculator from HP, cost them a few $100 for that. But I think over time they've just gotten worse and worse, and I don't understand why they would do that, because it certainly hurts the reputation of the consumer. The last thing you want to do is put batteries in even a cheap device and have them leak because they don't work after that. doesn't seem like I have heard good things about the Panasonic industrial batteries. And I think it's just slightly better quality control. I don't think it's a much different chemistry. It's still alkaline, I believe. So with that, I will pass it to Claude, W6CAG from W6CDT. Take it away, Claude.
Okay, Dale, thank you. W6CAG here. Good morning, everybody. Hello, 10 meters. It's interesting about the quality of Duracell. I hadn't stopped to think about it. I've made note here. We go through a lot of batteries here. Mimi likes these kind of LED candles and that sort of thing, and most of them have batteries in them. So we go through batteries. I've got a little bucket here that I collect them in, and then I take them down to the recycle center for hazardous waste over there in Irvine. When I'm done, or when they're done, but yeah, you're right. When they leak, they just kind of destroy whatever it is that even if I've tried to clean out the mess, but they're never quite the same again. All right, over to who? Over to you, Richard. How are you today? W6CAG over to K6RBS. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi guys, K6RBS. Well, I hope this is working. Something strange going on this morning. It's probably the wind. I know the SWRs all over the place this morning on my antenna, and I'm hoping I don't have a broken wire up there. I looked out, it's still up in the trees, but doing very strangely. Batteries, nothing really to add other than went out to visit a friend of mine who was operating the Orange County Astronomers 22-inch telescope out in out of their dark sky site. I haven't been out there in years, and he invited me out. I thought, well, I'd better take a red flashlight because it's kind of required out there. I know I've got one somewhere, and I'm rummaging through my box of astronomy stuff, bits of my telescope, and yeah, there it is. It was barely recognizable. I'd left the batteries in it. It was kind of bulging and oozing gunk out of the side. They got rid of that quickly. Lesson learned. Don't leave batteries in things you aren't using. Anyway, I've got little news next. I'm here. This keeps timing out. Here processing pictures, and I'm not paying my full attention. So I'm sure you know who you are. So here you go, K6RBS.
Yeah, K6RBS, WE4BY, Portable 6, sitting on a hilltop here above Dana Point Harbor. Beautiful view today, but I thought I'd come out early, and I was here at sunrise, and have been working some of the DX. I did a little bit Friday night for about an hour and a half, and I'll sit here this morning and do a few hours, and I enjoy getting the worldwide contacts. But Richard, you had something, you mentioned the possibility of a loose connection in the wind. Yeah, towards the end of your transmission there, you started to cut out a little bit, just in little short skips. So you may have something going on. And I dialed down to 15 watts. If anybody can't hear me well, let me know, because there's definitely a lot of contesters on this frequency as well. I'm slowly migrating to having as many things rechargeable as I can, and the stuff that has batteries in it is either stuff that's so inexpensive I almost don't care, or if I want it to be reliable, I'll take them out, put them back in, and I don't keep track of brands. I'll just take a bunch of batteries of different brands, and hopefully something will work. We do have a battery box at home with a lot of batteries in it and a tester. And that's a really good thing to be able to have. I pull a battery out that's been there. You never know if it's been 6 months or 6 years it's been sitting on the shelf. I suppose there's a date code, but they're hard to find. So, put the little battery tester on it and see if it's okay. But Yeah, I try not to forget and leave stuff with batteries in it just sitting for a long, long time because, yeah, too many bad experiences with that. Anyway, KD7WRM Wayne, over to you from WE4BY.
All right, yeah. Dry cell batteries. Gotta hate them. But I have enough of them, and I think they're all junk. Except the ones that you get in like brand new electronics for your remote control. I don't understand why those no-name batteries that you've never heard of before, they seem to work forever. And, you know, when they start going bad, you put something in, it's like, no, it's all downhill from here because it's never looks like to replace it, which doesn't last too long. And I think the ones that I really don't like the most are the Rayovac. And I think that I was getting those at like Walmart. I always had real trouble with those leaking. And yeah, I'm tuning up the band on the way to the net this morning and heard Aruba, and still good for me. My antenna orientation doesn't like anything that far south. Anyhow, that's about all I got. So I guess back to next in four. KD7WRM.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. WA6ED for the SOARA 10-meter net. If you'd like to join the net, please call now. I thought I heard something. Is there a relay?
It's just contesting at WE4BY.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Well, Rich is on 28.410 in Texarkana, and he can't hear us, but he's making contacts to Italy. So band conditions are goofy today. You probably could predict almost anything for today. All right, the batteries that I switch my flashlights over to are 18650s, rechargeables, lithium ion, and I bought some Gearlight flashlights that are machined aluminum. They're pretty heavy duty, and I've had no problems with them, and they stay charged a long time. So what I call taste great, lasts a long time. At least flashlights, and then I have a rule that I never leave batteries in my Rig Expert antenna analyzer, ever, never. But maybe I'll switch over to some Evereadys, but I'm still not going to trust them. But Evereadys, I got 2 flashlights here that have Evereadys in it, and I was just amazed that they didn't leak. Anyway, batteries are always a frustrating thing, and I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about. If there's another topic like antennas that you want to bring up, that's okay too. All right, over to Dale, W6EDT, WA6ED.
Well, thank you, Ed. And yeah, batteries are, unfortunately, we have more and more battery-powered devices. Those nickel metal hydride in-loop batteries, that chemistry has very low self-discharge and pretty decent current capacity. They're probably not suitable for extremely high current loads. But yeah, they work well. The only downside is they're 1.2 volt cell voltage. So some devices don't like that. I happen to find that, I got it at CES actually as a demo pack, but I've found a few more. A nickel metal hydride cell with a DC to DC converter in it, so it makes it 1.5 volts. Slightly lower capacity than standard N-loop batteries because you have to have space for the converter, and they fit in a AA or AAA form factor. But those are very nice as well, and they last a little bit longer because they'll discharge down to a much lower voltage. Because of the DC to DC converter. So yeah, it's if you can get away with just throwing batteries in, from a battery bucket into a device, more power to you. That works well. I've just been so frustrated having devices ruined because of batteries sitting in them. I had an NFJ 259B analyzer, an old one, but still nice, and I bought it used, but batteries leaked in it. It's like, doggone it. And these batteries were not connected. They were disconnected from the unit itself, but they still leaked, even though they weren't under any load at all. So that's just, I'm very frustrated. One kind of dry cell batteries that I have found to be don't leak other than the Panasonic Industrials is lithium chemistry batteries, but those are ferociously expensive. So yeah, I'm looking at the SDR, the Austin SDR, and I can't hear Rich, but there's that SDR is just packed with signals. So the contest is going on, whatever contest it is. And I'll pass it to Claude, W6CAG.
Okay, thank you, Dale, W6CAG here, and yeah, I can hear other stuff in the background. Actually, somewhere in the world, I think there's a QSO going on this frequency because they're weaker than you, Dale. But I could, if I paid attention, I could understand what was being said. That's the marvelous thing about sidebands. Before I forget, Richard, I was also going to say that I could hear the breaks in your signal as your antenna came, did what it was going to do, because it would be kind of like I guess was it Rich Greg that mentioned that you were kind of like breaking up. Yeah, it was a little bit like it was kind of, you could tell that something was going on there. So, and I was reminded, I went through a period with my mag loop where the SWR was jumping around, and I had originally didn't realize that what it was. Well, I realized that the SWR would jump up, and then I couldn't tune it correctly. I was thinking that there was a problem with the tuner, but it turned out that to be some loose connection in the loop. The loop is made of LMR 400 coax, and each end of that loop piece of coax is a PL259 into an SO239 connector on the tuner. So there's two of those, one on each side of the tuner. And what had happened is over time, the
frequency in use occupied.
Come loose. Maybe it was from the wind. Who knows? Over time. And so the they would connect and not connect, and all it needed was for me to cinch them down again, and everything worked fine. But yeah, I can. So maybe some connection that needs to be tightened there, Richard. Got some oxidation or something in it, and you need to crank it down. Who knows? All right, I'll leave it there and kick it over to you, Richard. K6RBS and the net W6CAG. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. K6RBS. Yeah, we have an Italian station who obviously didn't listen on the frequency first. Yeah, thanks for that. It could have been. Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, honestly, I'm here for another 2 weeks, and then I'm heading home. Sorry, home. God, I don't live in Idaho. But 2 weeks today will be my 50th anniversary with Unisys. And I'm retiring on the prior Friday. So after that, we're heading back up north. So do I really care too much? Also, the problem is that at my age and where the antenna's up, it's going to be a bit of a devil to get it down again. Regarding Dana Point and the view, yeah, this is off topic, of course. We decided to take a couple of days on Catalina, and we went out on Thursday. And there was a gale warning, and it was a little choppy. But getting off the ferry when we got to Catalina was quite a challenge. My partner has a bit of trouble walking, and with the boat rocking and rolling, and the everything else, the dock rocking and rolling, it's quite the adventure. But we had a good time, and then. Is it the Aventura Yacht Club down in Dana Point? My friend's a musician, and he was playing there last night, and he got us in as a guest, and so that was really, really cool. We got there early, and went down to the end by the harbour entrance with my 800mm lens, and took some time taking pictures of the pelicans and the cormorants and the seals, the harbour seals and everything else. And I'm sitting here processing them at the moment. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to, and I'll say this to you guys: if anybody wants to join us for a beer, OG's up on Alicia will be there 1 week on Friday. That will be my sort of leaving bash. So anybody wants to stop by and say farewell, that's where we'll be. Anyway, over to Greg, W4BY, K6RBS.
Yeah, K6RBS in the group, W4BY, Portable 6. So that IP8 America is now, I can hear him right through everybody else. I can still hear what everybody else is saying, but it's distracting, to say the least. Somebody said they didn't know it. The contest is the CQ Worldwide, so this is an ARR contest. Everybody in America and Canada is trying to get a hold of the world, but everybody in the world is trying to get a hold of America and Canada. Mexico is actually there's Hawaii and Alaska, interestingly enough. So, it's a fun weekend if you want to pick up stations, countries you haven't worked before. I've got some in China now, 3 meters and 10 meters this weekend, so that's kind of cool, I thought. Anyway, I did forget, battery lights. My wife is always getting fairy lights for Christmas, America. Those little tiny lights that don't use much power, and she'll fold those up and put them in boxes. And out of America, they're $3 or $4 a piece. So every year I think she gets a couple more. So there's probably a dozen of them. So every year I probably take the batteries out of 1 or 2, and maybe scrape it down if I have to. If it's leaked a little, and put batteries in. If it doesn't work, then I throw it away, kind of thing. So, there is that still. But again, that's low-cost stuff that I just don't care about. If I have to throw it away, she's slightly disappointed, but not that disappointed because she didn't pay much for it in the first place. And, congratulations on the upcoming retirement, Richard. I'll be out of town. Otherwise, I love going down to Dana Point. I take my kayak out of there from Baby Beach. Probably about once a week, give or take. And usually go fishing, kayak out about 3-4 mile total distance, something like that. But won't be there. I'll be out of town this coming weekend traveling. So. With my wife's family. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say 73. This was a good break for me to eat the second half of my breakfast sandwich and have some more coffee. I'm going to get back to chasing the DX, and it's 40, 20, 15, and 10. They're all right now, so it's kind of fun. Anyway, good evening, guys. Glad we found the frequency. KD7WRM, over to you, Wayne, from WE4BY 73.
All right. Good luck in the contest there. The lithium batteries, I was voted to those for my high-value things, my antenna analyzers and DNA. I haven't had any trouble with those leaking yet. They've got, good shelf life, and I don't let them go dead if they get close to shelf life. And I realize that. I just go ahead and replace them. And Richard, love to meet you. Unfortunately, I try to work on Fridays. I usually do. This past Friday wasn't a good Friday for me. So I got some type of chest congestion, cold, whatever, and took me out for work for 3 days, and still trying to get over it. I guess that's about all I got. I'm going to go ahead and listen out and say greetings all. This is Wayne, KB7WM, back at Net Control.
Well, thank you, Wayne, WA6ED, and this is the SOARA 10-meter net. Is there anybody that would like to make a late check-in before we do a 73 round? Okay. Well, it's been fun. A noisy net, that's for sure. Richard, you must have been at Burroughs then, if you've been there 50 years. I remember the Unisys building being Burroughs for a long time in Mission Viejo. And quite a few people worked at Burroughs when I was just starting out at Saddleback College. A lot of people in the computer room were either Burroughs alumni or something. And yeah, it's a small world. But Burroughs had some interesting computers in those days. Okay, let's go up to the top of the list and start a 73 round. And over to Dale, W6EDT, WA6ED.
Yeah, thanks for running the net, Ed, and yeah, congratulations, Richard. Michelle, my daughter, was there for a little while. I think you had occasion to meet her, and yeah, it definitely was an interesting place. Actually, a couple of other fellows. I'm trying to think. John Pitcher was another guy that I know that worked there for a while, and gosh, there's been a couple others as well. They moved over to the Ultimate Corp in Irvine. So anyway, well, have a great retirement, and hopefully we'll see you around here occasionally. And with that, I'll pass it to Claude, W6CAG.
Okay, Dale, thank you. And W6CAG here. And they're very boy. Yeah, congratulations there, Richard. And I'm trying to understand, did you say you're going to be moving up north kind of permanently, abandoning SoCal here when you after next week or whatever it is, and or are you still going to go back and forth? It sounded like you were just going to be up there full time, in which case we'd have to talk to catch you on 10 meters here when the band is open and you're able to get in, assuming that you're interested in doing that. Okay. What else was I going to say? I don't know. But everybody have a great week, and guess we'll do it again next weekend. And let's see, over to you, Richard, and 7-3 all the way around. K6RBS and the net W6CAG. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Claude. K6RBS, and I think we frightened our Italian guy away. Well, it'll be a very long story to fill you in on it all. In summary, very quick summary, screwed up my finals at high school, ended up going to the equivalent of a community college through the back door. Somebody knew somebody, and I'm a good guy, but he didn't do well in his exams, let him in. Anyway, so I went to community college equivalent, actually it's a technical polytechnic, and I was the DJ, quite into social life, but I did find the computer interesting. So after we finished DJing the events, and I was on stage with some quite well-known bands, being their warm-up act, I used to go and play on the computer. Anyway, needless to say, with all that social life, I didn't do very well at college. I got kicked out after a year. Spent another year unemployed. Basically, only money I was income was Social Security and getting money from my photography. And the Social Security were going to cut my money off. Can't keep that for more than a year back there. Get a job. And I found this company called Burroughs. They were looking for a trainee operator on their B6700 in the London customer data center. And I started by vacuuming out printers, hanging up tapes, and literally we still have paper tape as well, punch cards. And I was very lucky that there was a group who worked there called the International Benchmark Team, and their job was to convert customer applications, tune them, run them on the new hardware, which meant trips to the States back then. Couldn't do it remotely. So after 2 years, they invited me to join them, and the rest, as they say, was history. Moved out here 40 years ago. Worked on at the Mission Viejo plant, which is now Amazon, and been there ever since, pretty much. Something I have been, Claude, no, I kind of misspoke. We will be probably 50-50, a quarter here, a quarter there, Idaho, and then a quarter back here. And have got a couple of trips set planned. Photography safari to Africa is on the cards. And then my mum turns 100 this year, so we've got to go back for that. But off topic, what I have been up to, and I'm going to mention this group, if anybody uses 60 meters, what used to be Channel 5 is now Channel 4, is being wiped out by CODAR. It's been there apparently since about last August, and it's run by UCSD and Scripps Institute, and they put a CODAR transmitter on San Clemente Island, and it is wiping out Channel 5. Needless to say, I'm working on it. I filed a complaint literally with the FCC yesterday. The AOOL weren't particularly helpful, and we'll see what transpires. But if they won't help, I have the phone number and the email address of the guy in charge, and I'm going to call him and yell at him and see if we can fix that, because they just shouldn't be there. They should be down below 5.2, and they're operating on 5.420, which 50 kilohertz wide wipes out channel 5. Anyway, that's what I've been doing radio-wise. Long story. Over to WE4BY. If he's not there, back to Ed, K6RBS.
Well, I said 73, but I was listening, so I'll say 73 again, and send it back to Ed, WA6ED, WE4BY.
Okay, well, thank you, Greg. And I think Wayne said 73, but let's see if he really means it or not. Okay, well, I think the contesting is getting annoying, so everybody have a wonderful Sunday, and thank you for joining the net, and a lot of good stories today. Thank you, everybody, for participating, and this net is now closed, and WA6ED is clear.
It is Ed, K6RBS.
Richard, K6RBS, W6CAG, one quickie.
Okay, go ahead, Claude.
Yeah, you mentioned going to Africa, and my stepson and his wife have this outfit that's called Sundowner Safaris, and there's a bunch of they've got a bunch of stuff up on YouTube, and they kind of specialize in those folks that are looking to do photography. But you can go on YouTube and look at it and see if they're doing something that you're interested in. And like I said, I know them. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in here. W6CEG.
Thanks for that. You had mentioned that before, and I've literally just got on there and bookmarked it as one of my favorites. So I will be going back. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, I've got telling bloody stories again. One of the reasons I'm hanging on for another 2 weeks is that we get an annual bonus, and that is due next week, and I've been told I'm going to get it. So I'm going to wait until that arrives. And that's part of that's going to buy me a new camera. I'm thinking of going for the R5 Mark II. So I have a nice new low noise camera to take to Africa with me. Anyway, thanks for that, Claude. Take care. K6RBS.
Okay. Yeah, one of the camps that they talk about on YouTube, you're going to see it. One of them is actually owned and run by a couple of photographers from National Geographic. Anyhow, I won't keep you going. Sundowner Safaris. We'll chat another time. W6CAG, Lake Forest, be clear.
Cheers, thanks. K6RBS.